Hello and welcome to this presentation. I want to talk about how to navigate through times of unprecedented change. This information is for and on behalf of Conscious Living Foundation. It is private information for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal, medical or financial advice. My name is Rolf Granert. I'm a Conscious Living coach and I live near Brisbane in Australia. Now let me ask you, who are you? Who do you think you are? Beyond your name, the nation or country, your job, your profession, political sides or religious or spiritual orientation, beyond your likes and dislikes, your desires, your wants and needs, your attractions and repulsions, or even your goals, your ambitions, attachments, the things you own, your memories, your thoughts, your hopes and fears. Beyond all that, who are you? Because knowing that is true freedom and joy. In the ancient texts it was written, know thyself, or Sat Chit Ananda, which means being, knowing and peace. Now we are at a new dawn. Especially now we have the great opportunity to wake up to the true nature of our being. But first we have to overcome our dilemma. Now our main dilemma is materialism. Materialism is the view that the only thing that can truly be said to exist is matter, and that fundamentally all things are composed of matter and are all phenomena that are a result of material interactions. But is that really true? What is your experience? Have you ever experienced anything outside of awareness? Which means that the ground of your experience is awareness and not matter. So in this day and age we move from fear-based patterns to the most inspiring possibilities. Now more than 90% of our life is determined by unconscious patterns. Are you ready to bring your individual unconscious patterns into the light of awareness? Now when we look at DNA, can we influence our own DNA? Is our destiny written inside our DNA? Now what do we know of our DNA? There are some lesser known properties, which is that DNA is a superconductor. It's a wormhole, an open system. It responds to influences. It bridges even time. And it can make quantum leaps. That's amazing, isn't it? The old paradigm says that primacy of DNA, that our behavior and action is determined by our DNA. But latest discovery, specifically epigenetics, tells the opposite, that perception controls biology, that there is a constant feedback loop through our DNA and our perception. So we can say that every thought and every emotion carries an electrical charge that generates a frequency. And we can also say that low frequency and thoughts and emotions cause your DNA to contract, whereas high frequency emotions and thoughts cause your DNA to expand. So we have to remember that every thought, every word, intent, every feeling and action is directly programming your reality through your DNA. A change in consciousness creates a change in biology. So we can say that consciousness creates reality. Now that leads us to the exciting opportunity of self-illumination and learning the art of contemplation. What if you could have a map that shows your individual unconscious patterns as well as your creative genius? Now here's an example of one of those maps, and it's based on the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. The Gene Keys are describing archetypical aspects of consciousness, from the deepest fear-based patterns to the most inspiring possibilities encoded in our DNA. We can say that the gene keys are even a master tool for understanding human behavior and potential, and transcend to a state of great compassion and inner freedom. The gene keys show you three main areas, which are your life purpose, relationships, and our prosperity. And there are 17 archetypical aspects, like our life's works, our evolution, radiance, our purpose in relationships, attractor fields, intelligence quotient, emotional patterns, spiritual awareness, and our core wounds. It also talks about stability, vocation, creativity, our unique style, how we communicate best, our culture, and what is in the way of our prosperity. Now, within those stages, there are three frequency bands in each archetypical aspect, and they play an important role in our psychological and spiritual development. For instance, there is at a lower level the shadow, or what we call our challenges or triggers, and that describes when we are worried about our survival and fears in the driver's seat. That is when we find ourselves in shadow territory. Our shadows can be expressed individually in repressive or even reactive ways. The key here is to learn to allow and accept our challenges and shadows. Now, a level higher, we find our gifts, our true potential. And that is when we are more oriented towards serving others and honoring ourselves, rather than protecting and defending ourselves. And then we more naturally share our gifts with others, and we feel a sense of belonging in the world. The key is to learn to recognize our individual gifts and then to activate it. Now, the final frequency band is called the siddhi, or our divine essence, how we express our divine essence. And that is when we have entered a pure state of expansion and have completely surrendered our sense of separateness into the whole. That is when we have entered the realm of the siddhi. And here it's about learning to realize what we truly are and then embody it. So these states or frequencies, they breathe and dance together as we evolve. Now let's go even a little bit deeper into self-inquiry, where we rest in being knowingly. Now let's have a look at theories and reality. The two main theories are the Big Bang, how our universe started, and consciousness. They're two theories. It's nothing really known. There's no certainty. And what we can say that our reality, when we really trust our own experience, what is reality? Our present experience consists of thinking, sensing, and perceiving, which is known as self, first-person perspective, others, second-person perspective, and the world, third-person perspectives. Really, your experience appears in awareness. Every experience is known by awareness and is ultimately made of awareness. Now, if we come from this understanding, it changes everything. Instead of competition, we collaborate, and communication is the main way we deal with each other. Let's go a step further. The small I and the body-mind identification is made of objective experience. It's the process of thinking and imagining, sensing and feeling. We can call it conception. It even creates the fourth dimension of time. It's about self. And then the process of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. We call that perceiving with our five senses. It's perception. It creates our three dimensions of time. We perceive others and the material world. But our real experience, the underlying main experience, is what I call the I with a capital I. It is unlimited, ever-present awareness. It's the ground of everything, as I said before. It is made of presence and knowing. It knows or is aware of self, others, and the world. It knows itself. In fact, it knows only knowing. And within that we have three states, which is waking, the dreaming, and deep sleep. So, are you ready to wake up to the true nature of your being? Now, I have an offer for you. We're living in incredible times, and life as we know it is changing dramatically. Most of us have never experienced adversity like this before, and so we don't know how to respond to things like the effects of basic liberties taken away from us, and the pressure when our income is threatened. How do you deal with the incredible burden of stress and uncertainty? As we are faced with these severe restrictions, mental, emotional, and spiritual health becomes an important aspect. So that's why I'm providing 30-minute online coaching sessions on a contribute what you can afford basis, understanding that many are suffering financially. So contact me if you would use or could use a listening ear or guidance and strategies to navigate the next few weeks and months better. I look forward to serving you. My name is Rolf Kranert and my website is rolfkranert.com. You can contact me there through my contact page. I look forward to hearing from you and enjoy your journey and stay healthy.